Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I want to show you where you can find great content or comprehensible input for language learning. Los geht's! My name is Dustin. I'm an IT project manager from Germany, and on this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today I show where you can find compelling and comprehensible input in order to learn a foreign language. I already did a video about the comprehension hypothesis and why it's so important, and also why I'm using Lingq to consume that content. So a quick recap first. The comprehension hypothesis says that we acquire a language when we understand what we hear and what we read. Content should be comprehensible, so at the right level for you to be understood. And it should be at the same time compelling, so it should be interesting. Otherwise, you will have a lack of motivation after some time. So it should keep you motivated. Content should be in written and audio form at least. Video is also great. So it all stands and falls with the quality of the content we consume. This is what we are looking at in this video, to find the right content for you. Okay, so now let's have a look at the pre-made content in Lingq. So there's plenty of stuff from different categories, even with sound available. So depending on the language you are learning, there's more or less. Of course, the more speaker a language has and the more learner there are, the more content there is. So with the Lingq 5.0 update, it became way easier to find stuff as well. There are many pre-made decks, as you can see here. There are lots of different categories. So there are the mini stories, the newsfeed, guided courses, books, podcasts, business, entertainment, technology, and so on and so on. So this is one thing. And then you can directly import news and stuff into Lingq inside the app or browser. So it's already suggesting stuff. So for example, here there's an article from Wired. And we could go ahead and import this article from the website. So we wouldn't really need to go there ourselves. So we can just edit and it will be imported here, which is pretty sick. Usually they don't have audio, but I will show you later on a nice trick on how you get an audio file still. And what else? So YouTube. So you can also, and I just found that out, directly import stuff from YouTube into Lingq. So let's see, for example here's a YouTube video that gets suggested and you could directly import it. So you don't even need to go to YouTube yourself, but you could import it here right away. I would still rather go to YouTube because this way you get precisely what you want. But in general, I think this is a very valuable feature. Okay, next, where to find books. So there are already pre-made books that I have shown you, mostly some classics and stuff. But if you want further classical books, then I have the right page for you. It's LibriVox. There you can get free public domain audiobooks. So every audiobook or every book that doesn't have copyrights anymore because it's too old. And here are some voluntary readers, and they would just read them for you. So you have the audio files and all the stuff. But let's have a look how that works. So you go to the catalog, and then you can choose your language. And this is pretty cool. So for example, I want to learn Italian, so I will choose Italian. Okay, and here we go. There are plenty of books that we could read. So let's pick, for example, I don't know, Le Avventure di Pinocchio. So we could click on it, and down here we have the audio files, and we can also download them. So the whole book as a zip file, which would mean in this case the audio files, the MP3 files in a zip file. And then down here there's also online text. You can also get the text here, which is really cool. And then you could normally also download it. So it depends on which book you have, but normally you will also find a PDF file or something that you can download. Then you would go ahead and import the PDF file to Lingq, and then you can either also import the audio file into Lingq, but to map it is a bit cumbersome, I'd say, and I would just listen to it on the site. But this way you get all books. The problem with old books is, in most cases, that they are difficult to understand because they use often like time forms and stuff that's not common in spoken language.
Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
And if you have more recent books, that's different. If you want to read more current stuff, which I would also highly recommend because it's normally written in an easier way, in a more comprehensible way, then I would go ahead and do a Google search. So just, for example, type in Harry Potter Français or Harry Potter Italiano. Remember, we are looking for the ebook version and you can't import everything into Lingq. So we need to make sure it has the right format. The Amazon books, for example, are difficult because they have a format that isn't working with Lingq. Same applies to books in the ACSM format. So this is an Adobe copyright and you can't import it to Lingq. Also, good choices are always books that have been translated into many languages. Harry Potter is just an example that has so many languages. It's completely crazy. Also languages that are really small. I think it's even available like in Occitan, for example. It's just astonishing. So how do you find the audiobook version? There it gets a bit more tricky. So for example, Audible has lots of books, but you need to be aware that the different platforms or the different countries have different books, and it isn't sufficient to just log in from a different location, but you need to have the right account in the right country. So you can create actually multiple accounts, but the subscription will only be for one country. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, but for example, if you want to have all the Italian books, then you need to create an Italian account. Nevertheless, also if you have, for example, like me, a German account, there are Italian books, there are French books, but not as many as in the original account of that language. But there are also many different bookstores where you can get the ebook version, often even as an MP3 file. And then you can import it into Lingq. But actually I don't do that because I think it's too much work. Once you have imported the text in Lingq and then you import the audio, it's hard to map it, that it has the right timestamps and stuff, because Lingq won't break up the book into the right chapters by default. So you would need to put in some extra work. So I would just read the text at Lingq and then I would listen to the audiobook separately. That's fine to me. And then one of my favorite resources, YouTube, because YouTube has also video, and comprehensible input with video is really great because you can understand more in the context. But we should make sure that the videos have subtitles. There are also auto-generated subtitles, which are not too bad, but sometimes there are some errors. We can fix them for sure, but I would always tend to rather go with self-made or with handmade subtitles. So to find the right YouTube channels and videos, I have also a great tool for you. So of course you can either go to YouTube directly or you can use, for example, Zero to Hero. And yeah, let me guide you quickly through that tool. If you want to have more information about it, just let me know in the comments and I do a separate video about that. zerotohero.ca. And it's pretty cool. So you can first pick your language. So you click on pick language and then it does even have like a map, but you can also just type in the language. But for me it would be Italian, so I click on Italian. And now, as you can see here, there are different categories. So you can find movies, TV shows, blah blah. But we are looking right now on YouTube channels. So you click on YouTube channels and yeah, there it shows you already a bunch of YouTube channels that you could consume. So then how to find series and films, like for example on Netflix. Let's see, so I have also a different tool for that. So you can use Zero to Hero and it shows you some stuff, but there's something else that I can highly recommend for that. And it can also find your YouTube channels, but it has the capability to find stuff on Netflix as well. So this is a language reactor. And it's still being improved and developed, and there are many functionalities. And let's have a look. So there's also the YouTube catalog, but this one I want to show you, the Netflix catalog. And on top you can put in the language you are learning, also the country, and the different genre you can add, and yeah, it will show you all the stuff that has the target language. So here I see all the Italian content in Netflix, which is really cool. Yeah. And if you're logged into Netflix, you can just click on watch and it will start. Also it has the IMDb score in there, which helps you to not need to watch any junk, but to stay motivated and to find the right compelling input actually. It is also many other features, but yeah, also if you want me to make a video about Language Reactor, just let me know in the comments and I will do something for you. Okay, podcasts are also really important. I really like them because you can listen to them while you're doing other stuff. And there's a wide range of podcasts about any topic you could ever imagine. This is really cool. So, but then how do we find podcasts in our target language? I found the site for that, so it's called Listen Notes. And yeah, let's have a look together. So, for example, let's say we want to listen something about, I don't know, gaming. Let's say gaming. So we put in gaming. Okay. Now it shows us lots of stuff, but not necessarily in our language or the language we are learning. But here at filters, you can choose your language. So for example, Italian. Put it in, say apply filters, and here we go. Now you're able to find podcasts about gaming in Italian. Okay, this is pretty cool now, but the problem is that we would need to have the transcript also available. To get the transcript, it's not easy. So I would just go ahead, I would listen to the podcast, and I would pin down one sentence. I would write down one sentence that you can hear, and then I would Google the sentence. And then normally you are able to find the podcast itself, because Google has all that stuff indexed. Other than that, you can also go to the homepage of the podcast and see if there are transcripts available, but often there's a problem. So many podcasts don't have transcripts. Okay, now I have one special for you, and this is a really cool feature. I just found it at Lingq and I just found it in the app, so we need to have a look at the app. So if you have an article or something and it doesn't have an audio file, then you can create an audio file with an auto-generated audio file with a computer voice. And I thought first, this isn't anything, and why should I do that? But it actually is pretty good. So I was really surprised by that. So let's have a look. So we have the news feed, where you can import articles from news sites, for example. And those mostly don't have an audio, or they actually never have an audio file. So you just click on it. It gives you the preview, and I say import. Okay, now the file is imported. So now we have the article here. Okay, so, and if we click on the headphones down here, it says generate lesson audio, and then you can say okay, and now it's generating. So this takes some time, so 10%, 20%. Oh, let's wait real quick. Shouldn't take too long. 80. Okay, now it's done. And now let's listen to it, and I can promise you it's actually pretty good for an auto-generated file.
Ma solo, la guerra in Ucraina non avrà una rapida soluzione. Il conflitto in Ucraina non avrà una rapida soluzione. È quanto teme il presidente dell'ISPI, Istituto per gli Studi di Politica Internazionale.
So actually it's usable, and I'm pretty happy with that feature. I haven't found it yet in the browser version, but I guess it will also come there. So yeah, pretty nice feature, and I hope you like it. So now I have one more thing for you. So currently you can learn Ukrainian with Lingq for free in order to help the Ukrainian people. Further, Lingq makes all the languages for free for Ukrainian refugees who need to flee their country and who need to learn a language from a different country. So the war which is currently going on in Ukraine is a terrible thing. And I really know to appreciate that many language learning companies are actually supporting the Ukraine and also the Ukrainian people. So if you are interested in learning Ukrainian with me together and to make it a project on this channel, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video and want to see other videos about language learning apps, I got a playlist for that. Or if you want to spice up your language learning, maybe my playlist for gaming for language learning might be something for you. Please let me know where you find good content for Lingq. Also, make sure to leave me a like and a subscription to the channel. And to not miss anything going forward, click on the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching and see you the next time.